big feast days in Fatima, the 13th May and the 13th of October, the first apparition and the last apparition. And that is when thousands and thousands, about 500,000 people go. Today probably more, because the Holy Father will be there. But you have to remember that Fatima, the popes, although it is a private revelation, have given it great prestige and have talked a lot about it, have given it great importance, because it is a message. You can tell that with things that have that the prophecies made that are true, that as time moves on, you understand them better. When Our Lady comes in Fatima, she says she gives 6 messages to Sister Lucy, Jacinta, and Francisco, who have now all passed away. And she says, and I will come here a 7th time. She is going to come. That is why I say Fatima is an ongoing message. Our Lady has not completed her message. She is promised to return to that place. When this happens, nobody knows. I hope it will probably be when her victory is consummated, is complete, you see. And then she says, in the last message, she says, actually it's in the 3rd message, because the longest message of Fatima is the 3rd one, it's the one of July, May, June, July, August, September, October, 6 messages. The message of July, and then she gives a long message in which she says what is going to happen. It says the last part, when she says, in the end, my Immaculate Heart will triumph. She puts no conditions. It's unconditional promise of hers, which confirms it's what St. Gregory of Montfort had said 200 years before. In other words, there will take place a triumph of the Immaculate Heart of Mary in this world. Whether the powers that be like it or not, this will take place, because it's a promise of Our Lady, you see. And our Lord uses, for the latter times, which can last a long time, that doesn't mean it's the end of the world, but she said, for the latter times, he will use his most powerful weapon, his most powerful arm that he has in his arsenal, and that is his most powerful resource that he has to bring people to good, and that is his own Immaculate Mother. She is the mediatrix of all graces. She is the one who takes us to Jesus. Everything we do for her, she gives it to Jesus and takes it to Jesus. And the consecration of St. Louis de Montfort, which I hope that one day you will be able to do, perhaps when you're a little older, or the adults can also do that, is actually St. Louis de Montfort. He said, what I propose is nothing more, nothing less than a perfect renewal of the vows of baptism. Because what is the most important thing? What is the most important promise? What is the most important vow that a Catholic makes? The vow of baptism. Whereby he says, do you renounce the devil? Yes, I renounce the devil. And what his pomps and his works. Do you believe in Jesus Christ? Do you believe in the Holy Catholic Church? All those promises that we renew on Holy Saturday in the Mass of the Easter Vigil. And also in Brazil, we renew them every time we have First Communions. Monsignor says, now we will renew our baptismal promises, because a person who assists at a Mass of whether a First Communicants receives a plenary indulgence if he fulfills the conditions. And therefore we always renew the promises. And St. Louis de Montfort says, what I propose in my consecration to Our Lady is nothing more, nothing less than a perfect renewal of the vows of baptism, because it's the most important vow. The saints say, St. Augustine, St. Thomas, it's the most important vow is the vow of the promise of baptism, which is made when we are children. Our godmother or godfather, who is present in our baptism, does. If we're an adult, we do it ourselves, we say it ourselves. But those promises are the ones that are going to bring us to heaven if we are faithful to them. And those are the promises that the saints are faithful to the end of their life. The commemoration of our first apparition in Fatima, and commemoration of the visit of the Holy Father, who is there, crowning a statue in the name of all the Catholics of the whole world, is venerating the statue and giving proof that he believes in this message, which is so important for the future of the world. In other words, it's a message which divides so clearly good and evil. In other words, where people realize that if they turn away from our Blessed Mother, if Our Lady, if they have the misfortune to abandon their devotion to Our Lady, then they are in a very, very difficult situation, because Our Lady is the touchstone of Catholicity, of what is most Catholic, of what is most perfect. All the saints, all the true Catholics throughout the history of the world were always devoted to Our Lady. The Carmelites and the others were always devoted to Our Lady. She is the center of Catholicity, the center of the Church, the center of the most faithful members of the Church are those who have devotion to her. So therefore, that is what I wish for all of you, especially the younger ones, so that they will remember that and take that into consideration, and now be able to do their initial small consecration, because there are many kinds of consecration you can do. You can do smaller ones too. And one day, perhaps when you are older, you will be able to do the consecration according to the method of St. Louis.
My Mother, I am all yours.